find the supplier. Give. Hello guys, you're watching Start It Up again. Thank you so much for watching our episode 0, introduction and story about me and how I created Grocemania. We appreciate your likes, your comments. Now we have some great news for you. We prepared our first 7 episodes and we'll start uploading them from Monday. So stay tuned. Our target is to give you a great content and some great advices. Only thing left for you is to share information about our show, let the world know about it, and like our videos. We've been thinking yesterday what should we put in our first one as the intro one, important. We wanted to show you about registering a business, but as for me, our show is aimed at young entrepreneurs and people who are just starting their business. So I thought about talking about what is mentorship and how important it is to find a mentor for you. In this episode you will see my own mentor, Stefano Ciampolini. He's a high-profile entrepreneur in London. It will be great to listen to him, what he has to say to us, to get some advice. Also, as a part of my daily routine, I'm helping various startups at the moment. So we've decided to meet Ani, a girl from Russia whom I'm helping with a jewelry startup at the moment. She has a great entrepreneurial spirit and I think she can teach some guys how to do business. So I hope you enjoy the episode. Like and subscribe to our channel. Let's roll.
So I came to the UK around 7 years ago. I studied at UCL first, then went to Imperial to do my marketing degree. After I graduated, I was thinking about, so what's next? What shall I do? I always loved diamonds and fine jewelry, so I thought that's the industry I need to go in. I had 2 routes, I had 2 options to choose from. One would be to start a brand, to produce somewhere the jewelry and to sell it under the brand name. Second one would be to do something really different. So I chose to do something really different, which is I connect customers with the wholesalers of diamonds directly. So what I do is that I help them in terms of styling, because most people don't really know how to wear fine jewelry. That's where I come in. That's where I say, with your skin tone, with your look, it's better with your style. It's better to choose this ring over the other one, and things like that are actually very helpful. And as I said, the shops, they don't have the time and opportunity to spend that much time with every single customer.
How are you?
Great, thank you. Thank you for having us here today.
My pleasure.
So first, could you tell our followers about yourself, how you came to UK and about your business?
So I've lived in the UK pretty much permanently since 1991. I came as a student. I was studying economics in Florence. I'm from Florence. And I won a scholarship that was part of the European community at that time. To come and study in the UK for 1 year, and decided not to go back because the university system in Italy was a complete mess as far as I was concerned. It's a huge parking lot where you're left to your own devices. There is no mentoring, there is no coaching, there is no connection with industry or the business world, so you're left alone to go through this big parking lot. You don't have a set time when to sit exams. You can do it whenever you want. And at that time, I remember having friends that had been at university for over 10 years to get their undergraduate degree. So when I experienced with my own skin and eyes what it is to study in the UK, where you have a lot of support and you have a strict timetable, you have a pass or fail, I decided to not to go back and to finish my education here. So I finished my degree.
Okay, can you tell us about your business?
So my UK business is a chain of dialysis clinics, and we started it in 2007. It was a back of an envelope idea with no people, no money, and I just went around with a hat and raised some money from family and friends, put together a management team, and we got going. But it was not my first venture in this space. My first company in dialysis was in 1999, and it was predominantly in Italy, and it had a very short life because after 2 years of inception, I sold it to Baxter Healthcare, which is a huge global but American healthcare company.
Mhm.
But eventually, from a little platform that we bought, which had maybe £300,000 of revenues, this business now has 10 million of revenues in the UK. It took 10 years to get to where we are now, but we have been recognized, I would say, in the last 3-4 years as a very reliable partner for the NHS. So our growth is now, I would say, it's exploding. And I think this year, 2018, we're probably looking at a 30 to 40% growth compared to last year. 2 years ago, we were one of the 100 fastest growing companies in the UK. We became an elite company of the London Stock Exchange, which means that we're not listed on the London Stock Exchange, but we have all the criteria, we fulfill all the required criteria to be a listed company, and it also means that we have certain best-in-class features as an employer, as an innovator, as somebody that does something to change the community, and it's a good badge of honor. So it's been, I would say, a roller coaster, this company, because this journey, because also we went through the financial meltdown of 2009, 10, 11, when the planet went into a complete spin. So on one side, the NHS had to slow down because there was no money for new investments, at least for a period of time, and everybody sort of buried their head in the sand, and no decisions were being made about outsourcing or new contracts. So that was painful. And then also we couldn't raise money. There was no money around in those, I would say, 2 or 3 years. So the company went like this and suffered or got stuck for that period of about 3 years. And then after that, in 2011, 12, things started picking up again, and now it's really flying.
So, and what are the key skills that each entrepreneur should have nowadays?
You mean in general?
Generally, yes.
Well, I think that selling is still the most important attribute as an entrepreneur. I mean, if you cannot sell your idea, your product, your concept, then it's a failure from the start.
Mhm.
So you need to be a good salesperson. Then you need to be a motivator, because you need people. Again, you can have a fantastic product, but if you have no team to execute the plan or to sell it or to look after it, then there's nothing there. So you need to bring together a team of talented people. You need to have people that have done this before, that have the wisdom, that know where the pitfalls are. So you need to be able to be like an orchestra conductor to some extent, that everybody needs a cue and a prompt from you about what to do, and you need to inspire. You need to have confidence in yourself and in your team, and then you need money.
So confidence, money, with a team, and be a motivator. But which one is the most important? Still selling, yeah?
I think still selling, because even to get the money to fund your idea, you have a universe of investors out there, but if you're not selling your idea to them, then there is no company, there is no product, there is no team, there is nothing there. So you need to start with that. And it doesn't need to be, the brush salesman tactic or attitude. It's not that you need to be somebody who's pushing products or ideas in a nasty way. You just need to be convincing that your story, your journey, your plan, your product is feasible, it's realistic, it's something that people go, yes, I see that, I think that makes sense. So you need to be logical, but at the same time you need to be a little bit pushy because everybody's pushy out there.
True, great answer, thank you. And what's, in your point of view, how important is to have someone as a mentor when you just started?
That's, I would say, fundamental because generally entrepreneurs are young. It's more difficult to see somebody who's been in a business for 30, 40 years that becomes an entrepreneur. I think you're either an entrepreneur from the outset or not. So by default, most entrepreneurs are young, inexperienced. They may have a brilliant idea but no track record in executing. They may have terrible people skills. So you do need a mentor, but you need more than one mentor. So I always had, and I still have, mentors now. When I started my first venture, I had somebody here in the UK who was, but now retired, an entrepreneur in healthcare, and he had put together a healthcare service business with multiple sites, a bit like what we do in dialysis. It was a different specialty, but he had done it himself. He is very charismatic, and we took a shine. We met by chance in a way, but I liked him, he liked me, and he mentored me, and it was very, very helpful because when you're young you have all these ideas and you need somebody to prick the balloons because they may be wacky ideas. Yeah. And then you need, sometimes you have difficult decisions to make and you want to rely on somebody that can give you totally unbiased advice.
Yeah, so I've had my Instagram channel built up, which is working really good, and I had clients who came, different clients, some bought like 10 carats, the other bought like 1 carat, so it's really different with diamonds. I don't have like exact product that is more popular than the other one. It's more about individual approach to each customer.
Okay, Annie, in your point of view, what the biggest challenge entrepreneurs face nowadays?
Well, I think it would obviously depend on the industry that you are about to enter, but in my case, because I'm a lot younger than the people who are already in the industry, it's quite hard to gain the trust. You're working with something really expensive and something really luxury, so people want to know that you have the experience. I overcame this, but actually by creating the network of people who have 20, 30 years of experience in the industry. So they are working with me and playing the role of the experts. So I would say whatever the challenge is, try to think about how you can solve it.
And how important to have someone as a mentor or someone who can help you out with knowledge you need in the beginning when you just started the business?
It's very important, I would say, because you know certain things, like in my case, I know all about diamonds, I know all about jewelry, but at the same time, I didn't know much about the world of startups. And when I met you, you explained things that I didn't know before. And someone who's, I said, like would be maybe older, more experienced, but they didn't go through the same path as I did. So that's why I think it's really important you meet people throughout your way who can actually help you by sharing their experience.
That's great how you said it. So friends, rule number 1 in entrepreneurship world and business world, you can never know everything. Each entrepreneur is constantly learning new stuff, and it's his aim to learn and become better each day. So thank you, Annie, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you're not cold.
Nope, I'm fine.
Okay, see you next week then.
See you.
But what motivates you to help young entrepreneurs now?
Because I was one of them. So when I started my journey, which was out of business school, actually was still inside business school, I did, at that time it was the first European business plan competition, and it was a lot of fun as a student.
1994?
It was 1994, yes, so almost a quarter of a century ago. But I thought if I could have some advice on what to do with this, right? You win a venture competition, of which now there are dozens. Almost every day there's something going on that you can go and compete for and get money or get some benefits in kind. At that time there was very little going on, So I thought, if I have the ability to give back and do now what was not there at that time, I'm a bit schizophrenic when it comes to companies, that I don't like to have one company. I've always had multiple ventures going on. They're all a bit like children. Some are infants, some are newborn, some are about to leave home. And so I need to have that difference in stage. And when they get to a certain level, like this one here is getting, I know that it's not for me anymore because there's a lot of complexity. So I like to pass that wisdom on to students, that there's not just one venture in life that you're going to do, and the one that you're doing now may seem like the best thing ever, but maybe it's not, and maybe it's better to fail now because you will learn a lot more from failure than from success, and then the next one can be the better one, and the one after that can be the big one, and all of that. So it's just giving that wisdom and giving maybe some execution skills. Unfortunately, there is a language in the way that companies are built and venture are developed. There's a language to raise money. There is, a code that is not written, but that's how it's done. So you need to tick all the boxes. The presentation needs to be done in a certain way. The key statements that you give to investors or to your customers or the partners that will be involved, you need to say it in a certain way or it will not resonate. Yeah. So it's almost academic. They're trying to make it into a social science. So I am part of a faculty at Imperial College and I support the full-time faculty there, but you cannot really codify this. This is a lot of gut, nose, eyes, ears, and chemistry, and we're just trying to fit it in boxes so that the various parties that are involved in setting up a venture and having success or failure, they know the rules of engagement. That's what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for such an open answer. And the last thing, can you give an advice for people who are thinking about starting business now or who just started? Give an advice how they should behave and just your personal advice.
Right, so you are living the moment in time, which may disappear very quickly or not, when there is a huge amount of liquidity. And actually, as of the last few weeks, because of what President Trump has done in the US in terms of reforming the tax code, there's going to be even more liquidity in the foreseeable future. On the other side, you have interest rates that are close to zero, somewhat negative. They're picking up a bit, but they're still rock bottom compared to the last 100 years. So what does that mean?
So best time to start a business?
Absolutely, because people will give you money even if it's a dumb idea, if you know how to package it well and be a bit of a spin master. I think you will get money to get something off the ground. Because people are looking for a return and they're thinking, okay, I'm earning zero anyway. If I keep my cash there, there is a bit of inflation coming up, and because of that we have negative interest rates in actual fact. So anything is better than nothing or negative returns. So let's try and stick some money here, there, and everywhere, and see what we get. So I think that this is probably the best time to try and raise money for a venture. But having said all of that, the world is shifting a bit. There are lots of critical areas and local fires, so things could change very rapidly, and then lots of things would close and the sentiment would change. But I would say that right now you just have to be motivated, you need to be logical, you need to know what you're saying, you can't make it up, because the other thing is that the amount of information that is out there to check people, we didn't have that 10, 20, 30 years ago. You would need to employ lawyers, accountants, even private investigators or corporate investigators to find out about people and intellectual property and all that. Now it's all out there on the web, So somebody, if you say, I'm going to do this, and these are the assumptions, and these are the facts, and you haven't done your homework, you will be easily spotted as a liar or somebody that has not done his homework, and then nobody will invest. And once you're sort of crossed out of the list, because all the investors talk to each other, the angel networks, or if your venture is stale because you've been trying to sell it or raise money for it for a long period of time, everybody will know. So you need to be quick, sharp. There's a lot of coaching that can be had, like what I do, but there are also professional organizations that do that, and just to prepare you for the real world and the fact that you will be asked lots of challenging questions and maybe a bit of stage management and acting and how to deliver presentations and all of that. And then you just go out and do the best you can.
Okay, those are big advice. So guys, keep learning, always stay motivated, and always be based by facts. You should know what you're saying, be logical, as Stefano said. Thank you, Stefano, for having
My
us
pleasure.
today.
Good luck.
Thank you, and you wish you to achieve all the results you wish. See you next time. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching episode number 1. I hope you got something valuable for yourself. Listen to what Stefano has told you. I hope you got that it's essential and crucial to find a mentor or someone with better expertise than you if you want to start a business. Every entrepreneur is in constant learning. I keep saying it, but it's true. More I'm doing my own startup, more I understand that I know nothing about my industry, and I have to keep on learning. So stay tuned with us, follow and subscribe to our channel, tell your friends, and thank you for watching. До свидания!